clips. It's to bring them both in line.
Well, what's the script of Obamacare?
It's easy for these multinational corporations to profit from it if they're standardised across countries. It makes sense for their bottom line, and these corporations get their way. And this is what you see politically happening right now with all these stupid arguments, the destruction of the NHS, the Obamacare crap. But I don't know if he's getting away with this, Kev. I haven't been keeping my ear close to the ground with Obamacare, but...
Well, I must admit, my information on Obama, I have to admit, hold my hands up, it's rather Alex Jones InfoWars flavoured, so I'm only really getting one side of it, so it's obviously going to be weighted towards the bad. But with the Obamacare, I struggle to get my head round it, because they're saying it's all set up and designed to fail, which, looking at the website and everything else, it is. Now, with his executive orders and everything else, Kip, why can't he just bring in what he wants to do anyway? Why go through all this facade?
Because it's the theatre. It's the theatre of choice.
Do you think the American public even, and I don't mean this as in the full 350 million, but you know, the dumbed-down masses who couldn't even point to their own state on a map, do they even care if Obama was to just call overnight, I'm a dictator now and here's how it is, A, B, C, done?
Kev, you get... it's unfair to... In every country, you get a proportion of people that are dumbed down masses. In America, you get the people who are disconnected, who stay in rural areas, and they're disconnected that way. And you get the exact same everywhere all over the world. It's unfair to just say it happens in America. Maybe the proportions might be different and stuff, but I would say the proportions would be different when you look at the proportion, the amount of TV these cultures or these countries watch. I mean, the UK and the US must be leading the way in the amount of hours that people watch TV. And I've heard Freeman talking about a very interesting fact recently, and it was the Nazis with Telefunken who first came up with the idea of a television in every home. I mean, please, people see when the military-industrial complex is coming up with ideas to put a television inside your home. It ain't for your own good health. And then the funny thing about it in this country, mate, we're such good slaves in this country, that they actually got us to pay them for the privilege of brainwashing us. It's a piss take.
It's an absolute... You couldn't make it up, Kip. You really couldn't. If this was in a novel like 40 years ago, you'd been laughing at it. However, here we are, reality.
Kev, I was watching the TV the other day with my mum, because she still likes to sit down and tune in.
Yeah, there isn't any harm in watching the television for like a recreational, like pastime. And if you're watching it with the knowledge that we have, that it could be programming you, surely then it's okay. Can you not counteract the propaganda or the subliminal messages being fired at you?
Well, for me personally, I think it's the important thing is you don't suspend disbelief. But then if you don't do that, I'd spend 75% of my time shouting at the TV.
Well, that's what all that happens to me now. My son, he can testify that he hates watching any programme with me, because first thing I'll do is I'll spot the political agenda that they're trying to push in that, and that'll be it. I can't watch, I can't take it anymore, because then I'm like, here they are, they're trying to get it out in the media.
Kev, I've caught a wee bit of children's TV over the last couple of days, and this is what, like, a 5 and a 7-year-old, right? So that kind of age TV, and I can't remember what the hell it was. They were asking the kids, what's the most dangerous thing to Earth? And I'm going to murder this, right? But the answer was like, this baddie or that baddie. And somehow, some way, what do you think they slipped in when they said the most dangerous thing to planet Earth?
I would probably, just I guess, global warming?
Mate, I kid you not. Like, it's all dressed up as this innocent game show. Oh, these kids shouting. And somehow, some way, I just heard global warming getting... And subconscious... Like,
I was saying earlier on about replacing God with the state. It's got to the stage now where they're replacing the parent with the state as well.
Mate, that's been and gone. People don't even realise it.
Definitely, man.
Don't even realise it.
We've had another story in the UK, I don't know if you've seen it, an overweight toddler taking off her parents. Now, you can think of that what you want, but is it the government? Who are they to come and take somebody's child off them?
Kev, have we talked about the hang out the womb?
Do you know what, Kip? We meant to bring it up last week and we didn't.
No, I
think
don't know why we
briefly
didn't.
scraped over it. I know it warrants a whole show to itself.
No, because let's not focus on it, because like there's debates two ways, right? But ultimately, it shows you the power that these motherfuckers have, man. To go in and cut your baby out of somebody's womb. See if she was Cocoa Fruity Loop. You kick her on the happy pills.
Very, very dangerous slope to get on, Kip.
But even like, I can see people standing up and justifying this. Keep her on the happy pills. Let her give a natural birth. Then you treat her for her illnesses after the natural birth and see if baby can stay together with mother. You don't cut the baby out and then ship it off to be adopted.
Well, just for people in America, just to give the brief kind of outline of what happened here, this was an Italian woman. She'd come over here for a training course.
Wasn't even living here, am I right? She came over for
That's right, mate. Yeah, she was an air stewardess with Ryanair. Came over for a course. She had a panic attack. It transpired after speaking to her mother that she had bipolar disorder. She's pregnant at the time, and they went to one of the...
Let's also say she had kids in Italy that had been taken off her by the authorities, right? As an important to try and get a balanced view here.
Yes, but however, Kip, I don't think that's the point we're kind of getting at, is the fact that they've gone in and ripped her open to get that child. I mean, like you were saying, treat her until the child is born, then assess things, watch her in the home, whatever. There's a far less draconian ways of going about this.
Kev, an even bigger point is... I dare say that isn't the first time that's happened in any country, right? So you need to beg yourself the question, because I think this is a really good experiment for everybody to do. Now, when you first come across television, whatever age you are mesmerised with it, aren't you? I don't know, but was it just me? I can still sit and watch it from the right frame of mind. But when everybody first came across television, you're like, wow, I want to buy that, I want to buy that. Then you realise these guys are selling you stupid bits of plastic that look good on TV, right? So the penny drops. So when the penny drops about mainstream media, that it's every single news piece has a reason. Even if they're reporting on a star that's came out at night, ultimately they will slip in some sort of a mime, they'll slip in something. They'll never just innocently show you something.
Or they'll be able to use that totally stupid, oblique story and attach something political to it.
So approach mainstream media news as you would television, TV. Know that everything, and then once you do that, it's easier to analyse what each piece is trying to tell you, and it makes the news more interesting to watch.
Well, I think instead of sitting back on the sofa and slipping into the theta state, which the flicker rate actually does to your brain, you sync up with that, sit up and get ready to actually engage your brain and think about what they're saying. Look at the images they're showing you and then ask yourself, are they even talking about the same thing? Because there's a lot of the time, Skip, they're talking about stuff and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, if I had the sound turned down here, I'd have a totally different version of this story right now.
Well, I've been thinking about, like, see, for the last, 3 weeks now, there's been this advert on telly. Now, as I say, I've got the news on and stuff, so sometimes the adverts are on if the kids are about, and sometimes the TV's on and stuff. And there's this advert, and it's for, I can't even remember what it's for. It shows you how much I've been watching it. Now, the advert itself does not mention this word, but I've been going about my business with this on in the background, and there's been a certain part of this advert which I hear a word which she isn't actually saying, but the way it's coming across sounds like. Now, do you know what this word is, Kev? It's blowjob, right? Now, I need to try and get this advert.
When you look at advertising and the power that sexual connotations give it, it's not impossible that that's actually been engineered like that, Kip.
Kev, I need to try and get this advert on tape and run it by people and see if I'm the only person that's hearing this.
I mean, if people think I'm being mad, you just look at Disney. I mean, Freeman tells it best. You've got all the sex symbology in that. It's because it has such a hard-hitting effect on your subconscious.
Well, it's the ultimate way of manipulating somebody's mind. Oh, good, here's the shiny thing, here's the good thing, here's the thing you want, boom.
And let's face it, Kip, let's not be stupid about this. Guys, if it's a nice looking woman on that advert selling something, we are going to be more inclined to watch it.
There is no, well, as far as I'm aware, there's no advert. There's no human being on it. Jesus, Johnny, man. There is no human being on it. The bit that I hear blowjob, and I've then heard the advert, and I can hear she isn't saying blowjob, but when you're not paying attention, you hear blowjob, which makes you go like that. And
well, is it kind of like when you look at jumbled up letters, Kip, and you've got the first and last one correct, your brain will construct it, it'll know what it's actually meaning, so maybe your brain's doing the connection, and these people study this, it's a science, man.
Here's another experiment you can do. I've witnessed this myself. Put something really boring on the TV with adverts, just as we're going out to one just now, and start drawing with them, take their attention away from the TV, with the TV on in the background, but obviously the adverts will kick in at some point. Now when those adverts kick in, try not, just wait for, don't have a conversation so they can hear the TV in the background, and wait till you watch how many of them turn round with the adverts coming in where they're louder than the programme music.
All the fancy colours, the lights, it's all designed, Kip, to encapsulate your mind. It's a clever, clever science, man. We have to give them credit for it.
And we're just going out to break, mate. Anything you want to say just before we go?
Obviously, go make a cup of tea. Don't listen to the adverts. I'm joking. And then join us straight after the break, man. Me and Kip will still be here.
I'll be going into George Square, Rabbie Burns, William Wallace, the Bruce, and Knights Templar, all linked to the French Revolution and US Revolution. Booyah! Alrighty, welcome back to GUNN Glasgow Underground News Network. We're live this Sunday on truthfrequencyradio.com. My name is Kip. You'll find me over on YouTube under Kip 1883, Kip's Clips, and Freedom News Hub 2.0. My co-host, as always, on GUNN is Kev, and you'll find him over on YouTube under TruthTube451, TruthTubes, and something else that I've now forgot.
Yeah, there's a whole host of them. And see, before I let you loose, Kip, with your information that you've been working on this week, before I forget, I want to give an absolutely big, huge happy birthday to Joe Joseph of the Freedom Link, who's on this network. It's his
happy birthday,
Joe. Honestly, big man, sending you a lot of love across the pond. If I could get over there and share a drink with you, I would definitely be buying you a pint for your birthday. I've seen on Facebook you've had a new addition to the family. You've taken in a stray pooch. Just yet another example of a good soul you are, Joe. And I mean it sincerely when I say happy birthday, man. There you go, Kip. That's my loving out the way, mate. Just
happy birthday, Joe, for me as well, man.
So, Kip, what you've been looking at this week, dude? Because I've been seeing on your YouTube channel, you've been doing a lot of local stuff, a lot of symbology.
Well, should we stick for the next half hour just freestyling about Mandela, and I can batter into this in the last hour, mate?
Definitely, mate.
What were we saying before the break here? Because we were diving into all sorts of stuff.
Well, I'd already ripped the great man a new man, but we were kind of saying, we'd gone all over the place. We'd started on Mandela, and then we'd ended up on social workers taking children from the womb. It's the usual, Kevin. Kip, look at the news. I'll throw one out to you to get you a bit angry, I think, mate. This should get you on your high horse, right? Just doing my wee cycle of the news today, and for the first time ever in the UK, the number of working families, now that's families that have people working in them, below the poverty line, is actually more than the number of jobless and retired families who live below the poverty line. So that's 6.7 million workers out there earning a living are actually living below the poverty line, and yet only 6.3 million people who haven't got jobs and are living on benefits. Not that I'm knocking that. I'm not going to pigeonhole everyone and say they're all work shy, because everyone has different circumstances. There's people out there looking for work. But isn't it wrong, Kip, that in this country in 2013 that you're actually better off living off the welfare? And add to this the fact that just next week, the Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority, down in the Master Coven itself, the pedo-infested corridors of power known as Westminster, are going to rubber stamp and approve an 11% pay increase for those representatives of ours. And that equates to a rise of £7,600 per year, and that takes them up.
Kips clip.